King has some really cool stuff versus Ling that I want to go over, because I think there seems to be a misconception that King has an extremely hard time fighting this character. I want to go over some really cool stuff that King has when fighting her, and I want to go over briefly the throw mix-up that she has that, more specifically for the new players. It's not King specific, but I want to go over it just in case they don't know. You know, I'm sure there's going to be people that will find it helpful, so yeah. Ling is not a cheap character that I think people seem to believe. I'm not too sure. She's quite a risk-based character. She has gaps in her game, just like Eddie, just like Steve. You have to study these characters because they're quite technical, but once you have studied them, you know their options, you know where the gaps are, the matchups get a lot easier. If you don't know where the gaps are, the matchups do get a lot harder. You know, you can be extremely overwhelmed. So I want to ease some of the options that she has and makes fighting this character a lot easier, so let's get into it. So, Ling's throw mix-up is kind of scary and overwhelming for people who don't know how to deal with it. This has been the bane of everyone's existence since its inception. It was mine when I first started playing Tekken last year, and I hope this helps for the few people that might not know. So, Ling has two throws that you have to be very wary of. The first one is a 1+2 break. You can tell by the hands coming out together. This is used specifically for the mix-up. This is not the throw that you need to be watching out for. This is the throw that you need to be watching out for. See how the right hand is coming out more? It's extending further. That's how you can tell it's a right punch break if you don't know preemptively in a game. But you can see what the break's going to be. So this throw is going to be it's infamously used by online Lings. It's very abusable for the good reason of this. Ling gets a free back turn launcher when she does it. Now, there's two ways we can get out of this, one not excluding the break. So let's set this up on recording. Right. The very easy one is spacing. So this range you don't want to be standing at. This is where the throw can hit you, and it's not good to be sitting in this range because it means that you're thinking about the throw. You don't want to be thinking about the throw. You want to be outranging things that Ling wants to do to you, but you're not giving them the chance to do. So if you're stepping about range 1.5, this is the range where it can't happen. This is your down forward 1 range as well. So you can poke away at her a bit and she can't really do much. You know, if there's Ling players that really rely on this throw online, this is a good way of shutting them down through spacing. Very important in Tekken, spacing. And we have to deal with the throw if she's up close and pressuring. So common way, you know, is just breaking, but if you're not confident in throw breaking, there's another way of getting around it, okay? If the throw happens, just hold down. This way you're teching the throw by staying down. Ling cannot get the launch that, you know, an online Ling player that they want. You stay down, they don't really get anything for the throw. It annoys them that you know how to get out of this, and you're making the matchup that much more easier for you. So an infamous move that everyone, you know, is probably gotten crushed and hit by is the Cali roll. Now, King has a very specific punish for dealing with the launcher from Cali roll, but everyone once in their life has probably been hit by it. You know, Ling goes back turn, she's rolling, you know, trying to make you scared, intimidate you, and then does this. Oh. Does that kick, okay? So, when that kick happens, there's a few general things that you can do, but there's only one thing that you really want to be doing for maximum punish. So let's set this up. Alright. The very common thing of dealing with this that, you know, people do or could do is jabs. It's a very weak punish, it's not good. You can also hop kick it, but there's also a really good punish with King, okay? This is the punish. Back turn throw. 75 damage, unbreakable, untackable. Ling is crying. So the input for this, if you can't tell by the command list, it's back, forward, +1/+2. If Cali roll ever comes out at you, always try and do this throw. And you get free 75 damage. Free. Easy. And now you're making the match even easier for yourself. That mix-up is shut down. The only thing that you need to worry about from Cali roll is other mix-up, you know, like throw, but the launcher specifically, if you can show the Ling player that you know that, the really good punish for it, you know, you're making the matchup even more honest. The Ling player has to play more honest, and this is the thing that you really want to force into the Ling player. So RDS3, otherwise known as back turn 3, has a very specific punish with King's forward 2-1 that is really important to know. I believe in the frame data it says that this move is -18. This move is not hop kickable. You cannot hop kick this move. And let's find out why. I believe I've set this up. Yep. You cannot hop kick it, as you can see that it outranges the move because of how Ling recovers. The same goes for trying to just mash forward 2-1 afterwards. Oh, that's not mashing it. You know, it whiffs, and you think, why is forward 2-1 whiffing? It should hit. You know, forward 2-1 has good reach, but how Ling recovers is what you need to watch out for, okay? You need to let her recover a little bit before forward 2-1 can hit. And that's it. That's all you need to think about. Let her recover a little bit, and then bang, hit him with a forward 2-1. So up forward 3+4 is also a really great move for Ling. The reason why this move is good is that all 3 hits in it is mid. The move goes very far. It's linear, and because it's only -3 and Ling recovers on block in back turn, this allows Ling to have some really good options for her. If you don't know how to deal with these options, this move can make your life an absolute nightmare. And this is one of the moves that I think a lot of people consider cheap, because maybe their characters can't really deal with it as well, but King definitely can deal with it, deal with the multiple options that can come out of it. But I want to briefly highlight first the downsides. There's only 2 downsides. One of them is not really a problem, the other one is kind of a problem, but one of them is only being for a greedy reason, and the other one is not so much a problem. It's a general mix-up that happens with a lot of other characters. So, the moves that we would use generally is going to be down forward 1-2. This is going to be the move that you probably would want to always stick with. There is the possibility of doing forward 3, 1+2, down 4. That's about 52 damage, which is really good, but it can get punished by this one escape that Ling can do. And that's maybe a reason why you might not want to do the forward 3, 1+2, only if the Ling player knows this. If the Ling player does not know this, forward 3, 1+2, down 3+4, all you want. There is no reason not to. This is only important for if the Ling does not know this. Otherwise, down forward 1-2 is always going to cover it, so you've got no problem there. Now, there is also the possibility, which happens with other characters, as I mentioned, is Crouch Jab. Oh, that's not the move. This is also the only way that Ling can actually continue the pressure if the Ling player also knows that down forward 1 is going to cover everything the Ling player, you know, just shuts down all the options. So, let's try. You know, hits her out. It's the only escape she has to continue her pressure out of this. So, let's get on with the options to show. First one's going to be back turn 4. Second is going to be Cali roll. Third and final will be AOP. After this, I'll get into the AOP stuff. I just have a bit to talk about for that, but just get into this. And Cali roll. Cali roll has a bit more of a nuance to it, more so that the 2 extension does not hit, so all you get is down forward 1. I mean, it's not so bad, you still knock out, and you know, they can't get the Cali roll pressure that they might want to have. Then the next one is AOP. I mean, I recorded that a bit slow, but you know, you get the point. Let's smash this out, hey. Yep. Because Ling's in back turn, her AOP realigns to the left rather than the right, which is how AOP normally will go, but because she's back turn, she's gonna go to the left, which is her right. So that's one mix-up completely shut down. The only thing that you have to worry about is the crouch jab. Down forward 1 covers everything. This is going to make this move less of a hassle for you, and another option that's going to force Ling to play more honestly. So AOP duck is kind of the elephant in the room with the Ling matchup. We have to figure out how do we deal with this. So in King's case, King has some really good moves that deals with AOP duck. AOP duck is not the problem with the King matchup, although you have to be really careful if you're going to be using moves that AOP duck can crush, such as forward 1, forward 4, down forward 2, etc. They're really good moves that a King player will want to use, but AOP duck can go through. So you have to really put more focus on more specific moves. So is this starting? Start, please? Okay. Down forward 1, really good. And forward 3, you know, you can do the just frame input. That's where you get the damage from. And even more so when you do a down 3+4 afterwards, which is guaranteed for 52 damage. Crouch dash 4, which is essentially a while standing 4, but in that crouch dash. And the last one being the mid throws. The mid throws are really great. You know, grab her out. They're 12 frame startup, so they're very fast. If a Ling ever AOP'd right in your face, these are probably the moves that you're more inclined to be using. They're quite situational, so a situation like that is probably where you may want to use them. Forward 3, you know, you could dash up into it, you know. It's really good to condition the Ling player to not use AOP in the matchup. This is another way of, you know, making the matchup more honest, forcing the Ling player to not play gimmicky in a sense. AOP isn't really gimmicky, but you know, there's a lot of Ling players out there that rely on AOP as their defense. So if you knock out AOP really well, then that means they have no defense. And you should be able to easily, you know, run a train on them. A move that went through changes in recent months was the AOP 4-3, commonly referred to as the scissors for Ling. Now it's floatable, and everyone gets really easy combos. Before, for King, it was kind of hard to punish this in a sense. He was able to crouch cancel into a ground throw, or you could do full crouch down forward 1, which is a lot easier. But you know, the damage is not great for a move that's extremely good, and it was low risk. And the only character who could really punish it was Claudio. I believe Claudio could actually float it. I've never really played Claudio, or I don't really watch the matchup, so if I fairly remember right, that's how it works. So for King, instead of having to do something really weird, like a crouch cancel into a ground throw, you know, he can do something very easy, like a while standing 2-2. You can do a while standing 4 as well, but I would personally always go for a while standing 2-2 because, you know, it's very easy, you know, you don't have to be off axis or anything like that for it to hit. It's always going to hit, so it's a very easy combo to do. One thing that you have to be really careful for with this move is that when it's at its tip range, it's possible to actually have it whiff. So, if you are about here, your moves will whiff. You need to be very careful of that. If a Ling player actually even knows that sort of thing, how to space it, and could abuse that, then, you know, be very, very careful. That's the only thing that you have to worry about with this move in particular. Otherwise, you know, when it's close, you know, easy combo, it's all fine. So AOP up forward 3-1 is a really good mix-up tool for Ling that I think a lot of characters might have a problem dealing with. King has a very easy solution that makes, you know, this mix-up completely useless. Kind of makes the move sort of redundant. You know, this would be one part of the mix-up with the duck. You can easily down forward 1-2 this, or you can do forward 3 1+2. The other part of the mix-up would be doing the while standing 4 instead of duck. The duck is to make a move whiff, and then the Ling would punish it. Obviously, in our case, down forward 1 is going to hit AOP duck, and forward 3 is going to hit AOP duck, so it makes that completely redundant. And because Ling is technically on negative frames, the while standing 4 is not going to come out fast enough. Unless you're not fast enough. Yeah, so be careful of that if you're doing forward 3. Be quick. And that's that mix-up completely gone. But it's something that you will have to keep in mind for while running 3.